Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. Redmissed in the house once again. How you doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great. And we, my friends, are playing some more Magic Legion. Now, I am back home, guys, so the videos should be going back to normal now, and I'll obviously be able to put my intro and stuff back in front, and all of that good stuff and things. So, what I want to do today, guys, is a lot of you guys are asking the same question: what is the best mount to use in the game? Now, obviously, the best mount to use in the game is a 6-star mount. But for those of you that are not lucky enough to have a 6-star mount, and even myself, on a lot of my accounts, I'm not lucky enough to have a 6-star mount. So, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown on what I think is the best mount to be running with inside your team. Now, in order of like best to like, I guess, worst, obviously the best mount in the game is the motorcycle. Now, the reason for this is because his skill number 1, Still Man, which is going to give you at max level a 90% chance to resist being stunned completely. Now, the second reason why he becomes the number 1 mount in the game is because when you finally get all of his spells unlocked, this right here, the transformation one, is just insane. Now, taking less damage is a huge thing in this game, and I believe that, again, when this is fully upgraded, I believe it actually goes to something like, I've been told, 150% damage reduction. So don't quote me on that, because I'm not 100% sure if this is true or not. But I've been told that it is 150% reduced damage when it is level 10. But I haven't got the spell, I haven't upgraded it, so I don't know if that is true. But just judging off of the basis of that being upgraded by 10% off of the first one, you're gonna be guaranteed at least 100% damage, yeah, I would say at least 100% damage reduction. But being 10 levels, 150 points, I can see that. Now, that is why that makes him the number 1 hero in the game. Now, in my honest opinion, the second best hero in the game is this guy right here. Now, a lot of you are going to turn around and say, well, Red, that's crazy. Why wouldn't it be the second 6-star hero? And again, it is because his skill number 1, Thunder Shield. Now, his Thunder Shield does the same skill as what the motorcycle does. It's a stun resistance. The only thing is, he starts off 10% lower. So, again, I haven't completely upgraded this spell, but with statistics, I would say that he's going to give you an 80% chance to avoid being stunned. So it's going to work out about 10% lower than the 6-star hero. Now, he also has some really good spells to go along with him. He's going to increase your damage of your spells. So any damage dealing spells that you bring in your build. So, for example, if you come in here, you can see here that, like, Cannon, Fireball, the Fire Glob, the Blade, Shadow Arrow, or Volcano Eruption are all going to be doing extra damage with that spell activated. So this is why he's also a really good hero to be bringing along. Now, not only that, but obviously his other stats are going to give you some help as well, like Bloodthirsty. Gives you the opportunity to heal your heroes. So this is possibly one of his most powerful spells, because of the fact that you can get the opportunity to heal your heroes. And then he has a really good spell as his final spell, which is the Crit Resistance. Now, this is why he is probably the best 5-star hero, because not only is he going to give you the opportunity to resist being stunned, he's also going to give you the possibility of resisting the bonus crit damage. So, for example, my hero, if you don't know what this is, guys, if you look at my hero, you can see here on the fourth from the bottom left, my crit possibility is 100%, which means I am always gonna crit shot and do the bonus damage of plus 222% damage. That, if that hero has that spell upgraded, you have the possibility of avoiding that crit shot, which means my hero isn't going to do that bonus 222% damage to you. This is why he is the number 1 of 5-star heroes. Now, in my opinion, number 2 for the 5-star heroes and number 3 on the list of all-time best heroes is the Velociraptor. Now, the Velociraptor is purely because of the fact of he's going to give Arno or any of your physical damage heroes more damage, but the main one that you want is this one right here, the Rapid, which is going to increase your hero's speed by, I believe, when it's fully upgraded, it upgrades the hero's speed by about 80%. But again, I can't remember completely because I don't have it fully upgraded yet. I think the most I've gone up to has actually been 60% upgrade. But even still, having a faster hero than your opponent is going to give you the huge edge in battle. Because if your heroes are cast quicker than the enemy, it's going to give you the bonus thing. Now, the reason why he becomes the 3rd best is because he's going to give you a higher crit percentage. So, effectively, by having this spell upgraded, you can put your hero's ability points into other stuff. So, again, if I show you here, guys, if I go into my hero side, now, if I look at my main hero and I scroll down to the ability points, you can see right here that I've put 64% into crit possibilities. So when you've got someone like Arno, for example, who at the moment I've put 7% into crit possibilities, and he is at 47%, for just a couple of upgrades on the Velociraptor, he is automatically going to increase your crit percentage by 25% just by unlocking the spell, and then I believe it's 5% for every single time that you upgrade the spell. So you can pretty much have 100% crit possibility just from having the Velociraptor in your team and having that final spell upgraded. So that will free up a lot of personal ability points for your heroes to be able to put into power or HP or magical or physical hit, and you won't have to worry about the crit possibility because your Velociraptor's gonna do it for you. So, moving on to the 4th best hero in the game, and that, my friends, is the Elemental Giant. Now, the reason why the Elemental Giant is coming in 4th place and he's not in the top 2 because of being a 6-star hero, you'd think he would be, but he's not. Now, the reason for this is because both of his skill 1 and his skill 2 are both increases for magical and physical damage. Now, this is a really good thing because obviously it's going to make you a lot stronger, but it's not the best thing out there. Now, Molten Armor is a really good spell. It's going to reduce the enemy's attack, physical and magical defense by 200%, but again, not really that great. The War Rage, again, pretty good, but not that great. If you have the correct heroes, you don't really need it. And then, obviously, the Bloodthirsty is a really good spell. Really, really good. But as I've pointed out before, guys, literally, this guy's skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, and skill 5 aren't really that great. The only benefit you're going to get from the Elemental Giant is the fact that his stats are going to be a lot better. He's going to be able to give you double the stats of a 5-star hero, and he's also going to be able to give you more power than what any 5-star hero can be. But if you have the choice out of the Elemental Hero or the Behemoth, then go for this guy straight up because of the fact that he has the Bloodthirst already, so you're going to benefit from that. and you're also going to get 20% bonus damage from your spells. So of the two heroes, you're better off going for this bad boy because of the fact that he is just that much better, because he's going to give you the stun resistance and he's going to give you the crit resistance, as well as giving you the bloodthirsty, which is pretty much the elemental giant's only real useful skill other than the bonus damage that skill 1 and skill 2 are going to give you. So bear that in mind, guys. If you did happen to get the elemental giant, then he is a really good hero, but when it comes to having useful spells on your hero, then unfortunately he's not the best. So now that is pretty much the main heroes that you want to know about. All of the rest are completely useless, even the Griffins, guys. Now, these guys are just really not that good. Like, they're going to give you bonus HP, which is great, but then the dodge rate is just no good. Having the extra chance, like, when under physical attack, again, just not that good. And then having physical dodge, again, just not that good. And then with the Griffin, I believe he's exactly the same, but he's going to dodge magical. So when it comes to these guys, to be honest, I genuinely believe that the Warhorse is better than the Griffins, unfortunately, just because of the fact that he has the crit resistance. So you've kind of got to make your own decisions on what you think, guys. But in my personal opinion, Motorcycle, Behemoth, Velociraptor, Elemental Dragon, then you want to go for the Two-Headed Dragon, and then after that, all of the rest are after that. Now, I know I didn't talk about the Two-Headed Dragon in this, and this is purely because the the Two-Headed Dragon is purely down to your formation. Now, the Elemental Dragon has a really nice spell, which is, I believe it's Ice Barrier, chance to freeze, yes. So it is the final spell, an 8% chance to freeze the enemy target for 2 seconds when under attack. Now, these are really good things. Now, obviously, the first ones aren't that great, but the final two are your number one spells with this hero. So, for example, any damage done to friendly units has an 8% chance to freeze the enemy target for 2 seconds. Now, his final one, with 8% chance to freeze the enemy target for 2 seconds when under attack. Now, these two spells are really, really good if you're running a freeze-based deck. So if you're running spells that are going to do damage to, or bonus damage to frozen targets. So, for example, if we come into the Grand Arena and we take a quick look at Ice Fragmentation, you can see right here, deals 200 damage to all enemy targets in the front row, additional damage to frozen units plus 100%. Now, any damage that's going to do more damage to frozen units, these are the spells that you want to be running when you use the Two-Headed Dragon inside your deck. Because of the fact it's going to give you more possibility to be doing more damage to frozen units. And that is why I didn't touch upon him just yet. But if you do happen to use these kind of spells that are going to give you bonus damage against frozen units, then he is definitely the 5th best mount that you can bring in your team. I would still bring the other heroes over him, but if that is the 5-star hero that you have and you don't have any of the others at the moment, then make sure that you aim your spells around that guy's abilities, because then you're going to be able to benefit from it. So just bear that in mind, guys, because obviously the more that you work your heroes to the spells that you have, and the more that you do with your mounts, the better it's going to be for you. So a lot of people will kind of not bother upgrading spells, and this is where you're completely wrong. Like, don't just save up your runes to be able to buy the passive effects from the academies or from the libraries, or buy extra spells that you haven't got before. because sometimes, guys, the mounts are the ones that are going to help you get to the next stage. So, for example, if I show you right here, I've showed you this in yesterday's video when I went and upgraded here, but look at this, stun resistance to 90%. Now, a lot of you have asked how many runes this cost. Now, this costs a lot of runes. I believe it's something like 9 to 10,000 runes to completely max out this skill number 1. But it is a 9,000 runes well spent, because it means that I have a 90% chance to resist any stun effect. So, when you come into your team, I haven't got it here. So, for example, you can look at the hero. Now, the witch is a stun effect, so you're not going to be able to get stunned by her stun. There's a few other heroes that have stun effects as well, that you're not going to be able to get affected by them. There's a lot of skills that have stun effects on them, the number one being the abyss of the touch of abyss. As you can see here, stuns the target for 4 seconds. This is probably the most common skill that is used in high level gameplay, and it is almost completely negated by that one spell from my mount, because of the fact that that says 100% chance to stun the enemy, whereas my mount is giving me a 90% chance to resist that, which means that that spell only has a 10% chance that it is going to land. The witch again has a 100% chance to stun the enemy team, which means that she only gets a 10% chance that she is actually gonna stun someone in my team. So you have to bear that in mind, guys, because if something says 100% chance, whereas if something else says 90% chance, that's only leaving a 10% window. So you have to take that calculations in. And it's the same principle with stats. So, for example, the reason why I was saying dodge rate doesn't really matter is because if you look at this, my hero, for example, right here, my physical dodge rate is 10%, okay? So I have a 10% chance to dodge a physical attack. If we look at Arno and we look at his hit rate, now his hit is at 187. So that means that his hit possibility is still at 177 possibility that it's going to hit my hero, because I only have a 10% dodge rate. So this dodge rate would have to be at 187% in order for me to dodge his physical attack. That is why I say that dodge rate is not that good, because it's just not, guys. The amount that you have to put into the dodge rate to be able to counteract hit rate is just not worth it. That is why I turned around and told you that the Griffin and the Winter Griffin is just not a good 5-star hero, because of the fact of their dodge rates just isn't enough to prevent you with enough rate to actually start avoiding damage. Unless you really focus on making your hero able to dodge a specific set of attacks. So just bear that in mind, guys. Now, I really hope that this has helped shed some light on picking your mount a lot more, because to be honest, picking the correct mount is more important than picking the correct heroes to run in your deck, or more important than picking the correct spells to run in your deck. Now, you really have to pay attention to your mount more than anything else in the game, guys. And if this has helped, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and even hit that share button if you wish. And I shall see you in the next one. Peace on the streets.